So I have played all 5 subclasses on the Titan in Legend Onslaught difficulty, and I wanted to show you guys what I think is the best Titan build to clear the 50 waves in Legend mode. We're actually not using Synthos or Abeyant Leaps, and I'm going to explain why that is. Out of the 5 subclasses on Titan, Arc and Void performed the worst in Legend Onslaught. Now that's not to say they can't be good. If you're a decent player and you understand the ins and outs of what your build can do and when to do X thing, then yes, they can be okay. But Arc and Void leave a lot to be desired when you compare them to the other 3 subclasses and what they bring to the table for Legend Onslaught. So that leaves us with Solar, Stasis, and Strand. All 3 of these subclasses actually perform very well with the correct build in Legend Onslaught, but Strand Titan stands above the other 2 subclasses for 3 reasons, and these 3 things are a truly powerful combo for not only yourself, but your entire fire team as well in any activity in Destiny 2. But specifically for Legend Onslaught, it's even better because the whole goal is to reach that wave 50, and to do that you need your teammates to be alive, you need to be alive, and that's what this Strand Titan brings. Even though I had an absolute blast playing Stasis Titan, creating so many crystals and then watching everything just explode from the shattering of those crystals, Strand Titan still brought more overall. And same thing with Solar Titan. You guys know what a big fan I am of the Consecration Slam and the different builds you can bring to just nuke everything, but Strand Titan still brought more overall to myself and the team when we needed it. So if you understand these 3 components and combine them together, which is very easy to do, you will become near unkillable and your teammates will feel the same because you give all 3 buffs to them as well, and you do this infinitely. Now the first thing is our aspect into the fray. Destroying a tangle or casting your super grants woven mail to nearby allies. Pretty simple. When you shoot or throw a tangle, it pulses 4 times. Each of these pulses actually heal you for about 10 HP each time, but these pulses also gives you and your team woven mail off each pulse. That means it resets your woven mail timer from each pulse, and from one single tangle you actually get woven mail for about 14 seconds when you stay in range of the pulses. The reason this is important is because tangles have a 12-second cooldown. This means you can have an infinite woven mail for you and your entire fire team, since you can generate a tangle quickly before the woven mail from the other tangle expires. And woven mail is a 45% damage reduction, and I can't stress how powerful this is for you and your fire team when we pair it with any source of healing, and we're going to pair that with 2 sources of strong healing on the Titan that we also give to our entire team. That leads us into our second piece and the first source of healing, and that is the aspect Banner of War. When we defeat a target with a melee attack, a finisher, or a sword, we raise the banner that heals yourself and your entire fire team with every pulse it gives off. So you want to start out by getting a finisher or melee kill with Frenzy Blade, or you can grapple melee and it will proc Banner of War as well if you get a kill off your grapple melee. Now we can stack this up to ×4 with kills, and the nice thing is those kills are by you or nearby allies, which in Legend Onslaught you're always with your team. It's so easy to maintain a ×4 stack in Onslaught, and now you're healing everyone with every pulse of Banner of War and giving woven mail to everyone for 45% damage reduction. But we don't stop there. The third and final component is our exotic choices. Ideally for your weapon, you want to take a strong Strand weapon. I personally like Final Warning. You guys have seen me use it in multiple builds and videos, but if you don't like it, then Quicksilver Storm is still a really good option there. Even with the nerfs it took, it's still very powerful. But we just want to be able to get kills easily and very fast with a Strand weapon to play into our exotic armor piece, and that is Precious Scars. Final blows with a weapon matching your subclass type grants you restoration and the entire fire team restoration as long as they're within 15 meters, which in Onslaught, again, you guys are all grouped up. So that is restoration from the Solar subclass that you would get on like a Solar build for the Titan that you would apply to your team. So now when we combine these 3 things, woven mail for 45% damage reduction, and we have this infinitely, Banner of War ×4 healing pulse, which again, we have up all the time, and Precious Scars restoration. And to keep restoration up, you just get a kill every 3 seconds with a Strand weapon. Pretty easy to do, especially with an exotic weapon, because they hit red bar enemies 40% harder, or even like a heavy LMG Strand weapon that you see me using in the gameplay. This combo makes yourself and the entire fire team feel like gods running around in Legend Onslaught. And all of this can be kept up infinitely and easily. Just make sure to kill enemies for all 3. Kills keep banner up, kills keep restoration up, and then kills spawn tangles every 12 seconds that you shoot or throw at the ground for woven mail for 14 seconds. Now the fragments that we're going to choose for this build just add so much more overall. First we take Threat of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. You're doing a ton of damage with your exotic primary, you're doing a ton of damage with the Unraveled debuff that you spread to everything when you grapple melee something, and since we are using the grapple ability, Threat of Generation feeds us even quicker. If you guys don't like grapple and you're okay getting a finisher kill or a melee kill to proc Banner of War without grapple, then by all means you could take Shackle Grenade to add Suspend to the build. For our second fragment, we do take Thread of Warding. Picking up Orb of Powers grants Woven Mail. I know this seems kind of redundant. I played the build with and without this, and just trust me, it's a nice way to make sure you have Woven Mail up all the time. And the build just feels better with this fragment on. For our third fragment, we take Thread of Evolution. Threadlings travel further and deal additional damage. And against minors and elites, that's a 53% damage increase for your Threadlings. And then against mini bosses and bosses, that's 33% increased damage to your Threadlings. If you have this fragment on, it just makes Threadlings add a lot of extra damage to the build, which we need since we're not using Synthos. And then for our last fragment, we take Thread of Rebirth. Strand Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create a Threadling. Since we always want to be getting kills with our Strand Weapons, this plays great into the build, especially with the artifact mods from this season. That is Unraveling Orbs. Picking up an Orb of Power grants Strand Weapons Unraveling rounds, and then Horde Shuttle. Damaging unraveled targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a Threadling. So you're going to be popping out Threadlings left and right as you're just dealing damage with your primary, which is what we want to do to be proccing Restoration, to be creating Tangles, to be shooting our Tangles for Woven Mail, and to be keeping Banner of War up. It all plays so well together, and it's just kill enemies. For mods on the build, on the helmet, we take a Harmonic Siphon, so both our Strand Weapons can create Orbs of Power on double kills. We also take a Hands-On to get bonus super energy on those melee final blows that we combine with our grapple, and then a Heavy Ammo Finder just to keep up some extra heavy ammo. On our gauntlets, I do like a Harmonic Loader, so it makes those Strand Weapons load much quicker. Impact Induction, causing damage with a powered melee attack, reduces your grenade cooldown. This works with our grapple melee and the 3 powered Frenzied Melee that we have. And then we also take a Heavy Handed. Your powered melee final blows create Orbs of Power, and again this works with the grapple melee as well. On the chest piece, just take your 3 resistance mods for whatever activity you're doing and match the burns. On our boots, we do take 3 Strand Weapon Surges. This is going to give us a 22% weapon bonus damage to our Strand Weapons, and if you're running that in your primary and heavy, you can double dip into this. On the class item, we take Time Dilation, so it makes those armor charge and those Strand Weapon Surges last 15 seconds per charge, and we have 3 of them. So when you grab 3 orbs, it's going to last for 45 seconds, and you'll keep it up quite often. We also take a Reaper, so when we use that class ability, we can generate another Orb of Power, and Bomber just to feed that grenade a little bit more when we pop our class ability. For stats on the build, 100 Resilience is the only one you want to make sure you hit. Next, you can build into Discipline and Strength. But Resilience is the only one you need. That's just a flat 30% damage reduction on top of everything else. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't seen my last 2 builds, we have the Hunter build and the Warlock build. Both of them are great in Onslaught, and they'll help you through that Legend difficulty if you're playing those 2 classes. I think I might do the Stasis Titan build next. I'm not 100% sure yet, but if you guys would like to see that Stasis Titan build, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.